places, everyone. Everyone keep the place. Gotta learn to beat the system.
You know this world has gone insane. It is absolutely no secret. But tonight, Saturday night, you are about to experience the true measures of what that insanity can bring you. Tonight, you are about to see Ball and Bonkers, the one-of-a-kind show that delves deep into the world with no holds barred. Now, meet your hosts, Dakota Franson, specialist of the strange, and Christopher Mule, the UFO fanatic. Now, give it up, and let's see what these two idiots can bring you.
Welcome, everybody, to Saturday night. We're back again from beyond.
Already Saturday, my God.
Joined tonight by my lovely co-host here, and look, we have a special guest, Drew's Paranormal Vlog. Welcome, Drew. Shall we let the chat fill up for a couple of minutes before we start talking? Because you know it's always the same.
Yeah, everybody always shows up in the last 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
But,
Exactly. What's that all about?
while we're here, Dakota, do you want to say anything tonight? Because you want to talk about something.
Well, yeah, I do think that there should be at least one thing we should do real quick. And those of you who follow the channel pretty closely, you may know that I did a little video that ended up being oddly delayed, oddly affected, even though the message was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Basically addressing that one of our own is not doing so hot right now.
Yes.
And right now she is going through several tests at the hospital. They're not exactly sure what's going on. But just to give a shout out and some love to Sherry.
Yes.
We miss you.
Yeah.
We hope you get better. Honestly, I don't want to go too much into personal details, but when we got voice messages from Sherry, she didn't even sound like herself. She was
I know it's terrible. And Sherry, if you're watching this or you get time to watch this, we're all here for you. If you want to talk through Facebook or through Ball and Bonkers chat, we're all here for you. Drew's here, I'm here, and so is Dakota. We're all here for you. Get better soon, okay? So, look who's in the chat now. There's Shelley Steele is one of your friends there, Drew.
Yep. My best friend, Michelle. I Ghost Hunting Buddy as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
hopefully you won't get banned, Shell. I did turn off Nightbot because it wasn't blocking the things we wanted it to block.
I know.
Oh, she loves her emojis, that girl. She loves her emojis.
I was just saying, hopefully you won't. I did turn it off because it wasn't working against all the Russian bots that want to promote explicit material, but
There's
They
always,
don't
Yeah.
like me either.
I can't believe it. And there's my brothers in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, another
Drew. There's Drew Mo. What's that? He's off to Hartlepool to buy a pair of exploding trousers.
oh God, Drew!
Can you lend your brother
The
to see
boys.
that, please?
Do you want to see that, Drew? Do you want to see his comment? Can you not see it?
No, I'm saying, can you lend your brother the trousers to see them? To the exploding trousers? What the fun?
I don't know. I honestly keep saying to Dakota, we need to record the Xbox Live chat because it's honestly, I think it'd make a great show.
Microsoft and blah 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 blah. We gotta go through a whole bunch of loopholes now that we're official, man.
The only thing I would say, it would have to be a late night episode. It would have to be 21 rated, and it would have to be put out at 3
The witching hour.
you know. But anyway.
Like 10 over here, man. You gotta remember that.
I know. So before we begin the interview, Dakota, do you have any other news you would like to share with everyone? before
Well,
we go on?
we have one we can show off right now. I was going to hold off on the others towards the end because I did tell Drew there that there's a little surprise waiting for her.
That's right.
Yes.
There is.
So if you've been paying attention for a while now, maybe you've seen it in the thumbnails. There's a discount link to it in the description. But Balls
Yes.
and Bonkers has had a sponsor now for quite some time. The vitamin-based energy drink called Dubby. I finally got mine yesterday. They were having issues with supply due to the pandemic affecting small businesses, but finally got it going. Honestly, it's actually pretty good. I'm quite impressed.
I've
You
not
know,
tried it yet.
I'm trying to be genuine here. I'm not blow smoke up your butt unless like somebody over here, but
That's terrible, isn't it? Terrible. I put my virtual hands through. So,
are you choking me or tickling me? What the hell?
same, got to choke and tickle at the same time. You know? But here's
Podcast
what I'll-
people, this is why you should come to the live shows, so it'll make
Yes.
sense what's going on.
Can I ask you, Dakota, how does it taste? Does it taste sweet, or does it just get like a kind of normal kind of taste to it?
I don't think you put enough in it, but this one has a very sweet flavor to it. There's one thing to warn you about when you go to open it up is that there is kind of a powdery substance to it
Yeah.
because it is all natural stuff, so it doesn't all necessarily sink into the water.
Mhm.
There's a nice little mug there. It's not that bad. Plus, if you go to
So-
look it up, yes, it is gamer based, but when you're bouncing between shows and work and running the company, you need a boost every now and then. Let's just say it.
A couple of things I'm just going to say, guys. Please try Dubby out because every purchase through the links that Dakota's left there helps the channel grow, you know, and it helps us all out. And I would like to welcome someone in the chat that we've not seen for a wee while, but he's been doing his own lives. Mike the Naked Bigfoot.
Welcome, mate.
Guys, everywhere in the world, go and visit Mike the Naked Bigfoot's channel because I was watching some of his shows the other night. You've been watching the shows, Drew. Wow.
Yes, I watch.
See some of these
I watch
stories.
religiously.
Yeah. I've never messaged, ever missed one of his shows. So there you go.
Honestly, think if you're not subscribed to Mike, you are missing out. Honestly, I really do think if you are not subscribed to Mike the Naked Bigfoot,
Yeah.
and you are into paranormal investigating, anything cryptid, everything,
Oh.
you are missing out because Mike explains it all to you from what he's been told by these
Yeah.
different people in that area. So
Yeah.
definitely check him out, guys.
So, anyway, Drew's paranormal vlog. Let's get down to business, as one would say. What's that, Mike?
Right.
The Naked Bigfoot.
Just
Oh,
must
thanks,
Mike
guys.
gushing over us as usual.
Don't worry about it, Mike.
We
you know,
take care of our own, Mike.
there.
He's really good. I love him.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
So, Drew, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you get into this kind of thing? How did you get into this kind of thing? It's actually quite
How did I get
interesting.
into this crazy thing? Well, how did I get
Just
into
all the bunkers, both hunting in general.
Actually, you turned the tables on me because Dakota said to me on Thursday, would you like to come up in the Saturday show, Drew? And I said, yes, of course. Who are we talking to? And he's like, you. And I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. So that was a big
It's-
surprise.
It's about time you were up here for an interview.
And it's totally not because we couldn't find another guest for tonight.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
just a smidgen to do with it. I
Yeah.
don't mind. Let me think. Well, as always, when you're growing up, you get told the spooky stories and things. And
Yeah.
I had done a wee bit of thinking a while back about how I did actually get into this crazy situation. And I always remember my mum starting off ghost stories when we were young. She'd always say it was a dark and stormy night. 3 men sat by a fire. And
Yeah.
I loved just that part alone. She got me hooked. So Saturday nights and things, she would always tell us a creepy story and things like that. And then in the 80s, all the films came out, like what your possessed films and things that
Oh,
made paranormal look crazy.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, when
of
you
course,
think back to Amityville and things. And
that's what I was just going to say. I was just going to say
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
and,
That is one of the iconic movies, you know.
and what was the other one? Poltergeist as well. I mean,
Oh,
they scared the
oh.
living bejesus out of us. What else was there? There was the Living Dead and things as well when we were growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the right scary ones plus I loved all the old vampire films. See the Salem's Lot.
Oh, that's a
where they
good
were-
one. Yeah, that is a
Well,
good one.
I still, to this day, think that ancient vampire is the most creepiest image ever to
Yeah.
this day. And I
Yeah.
think it's because of that spooking me when I was younger that I always said to myself, is there creepy things out there like that? So I had my kids and things, and due watching the television, Ghost Adventures and things all started. And I started watching them and realising that paranormal was everywhere right now on television, YouTube and things had all started. So I loved every programme.
Can I ask you, Drew, what was the first ever paranormal experience? Your very first.
Growing up as a kid, we always had weird experiences in my mum's house. But there was
Right.
always in September, there was always somebody, and it was, my mum didn't notice it at first that it was that month of September. It wasn't until we were all growing up that we kind of placed it to September. But there was always, she said that for the minute she moved into that house, it always happened, where it was as if somebody was running in the house, slammed the door and run up the stairs. And my mum and dad and everybody used to go up and see if they could see anybody, and they could never find anybody. So that
That's-
was like the first
Yeah.
strange thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. That how it's only in a September that happens.
When we were growing up as teenagers, me and my big sister and things all placed it together that it was round about the month of September. And it was so strange because when we started to do the research and things a couple of years back now it is, I placed it together that when we were younger, there was rumours of witches in Lesmahago, and it was rumoured to
That's
be
right.
this area where I stay now, which is strange because I've never ever really thought of witchcraft and things until I moved up here. I mean, I
It
did
is-
tarot cards and things, but no actual
Yeah.
witchcraft as such.
But you've been doing it for so long, Drew. I mean, you've been doing it for how many years? About 30 years now?
Tarot cards, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I've
And I
always
must
had a
say,
set of tarot cards.
You are very accurate, Drew. I mean, you've done tarot card readings for me and lots of other people, and you are ridiculously good at it. There you go, the comment for you. Here's Dakota. He's hearing some strange sounds in the
Don't
background.
be flashing light right next to me. What the hell?
There's a what?
There's like a flash of some blue light right next to me.
Right. Well, the spirits are want to talk.
Oh, the spirits are talking. Guys, welcome new people in the chat. Welcome. So, Dakota,
Contact.
will you get any questions, my dear fellow?
All right. Well, being that you have been doing this for a while, what was your very first investigation?
My first investigation was the Cartland Bridge Hotel over at Lanark. Nobody would go out with me ghost hunting, so I decided to book myself into one of these paranormal groups that take you out, which was Lanarkshire Paranormal. They've got a lot of different locations around Scotland where they've got the rights to investigate, if you like. So I decided to book an investigation with them. I went myself. I met two girls from, I think they were from New Mains. I sat with them the full night. We went round about the full big building, and we went to the captain's quarters and things upstairs, and they were doing table tipping and things, and I had never seen that done even on YouTube or on television before, and it really intrigued me. I thought, wow, there's different ways to communicate other than spirit box and things, and it got me kind of hooked a little bit, and that's when I started to buy my K2 meters and things like that as well. But I did have an experience at the Cartland Bridge Hotel. There's a gatehouse, well, there's no anymore, it's knocked down,
That's
guys. My big brother got married in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a gatehouse, and they did tell us that in the gatehouse there was a spirit of a little boy who actually was the owner, the owner's like staff, if you like. One of his nephews, he had took him in as a young kid. And in
Yeah.
order to give him food and board, he would do a bit around the. It was like a big castle. It's a house, but it looked like a big castle. It's an amazing big building.
I can remember it. I can remember it before they pulled it down. Yeah.
Yeah, so he would do little things around there, but they told us that the uncle was really bad to him, and he actually beat the little boy to death. So they reckoned that his spirit, sometimes when these people go in, his spirit of the little boy will not be in the house, he goes outside. But we were lucky enough that when we were investigating, the little boy was there, and you can hear his footsteps going along the wooden floor. And I've got it on audio recording where I say to him,
Mhm.
if you're here, can you touch my hand? And you hear the footsteps going across. And all I can describe is it's like velvet. It's like as if you rub your hand up and down velvet, but it was like rubbing along my hand. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like a velvety, staticky feeling. And I say, thank you. And then you hear the footsteps going away again. And you can tell it's a kid because it's really light.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So that got me really hooked. And that's when I started to realise, no, I want to do this for like a full-time hobby, if you like.
Well, it
I
certainly is.
I started going to YouTube and I found Haunted Finders.
Yeah, honestly, guys in the chat, the links below for Drew's paranormal vlog. Amazing channel, guys. You really need to go there. One of
Guys.
my favourite ones, one of my favourite videos you did, Drew, was Greyfriars Graveyard.
Yeah.
That's one of the. Can you tell us a wee bit about Greyfriars Graveyard?
Greyfriars is different for everybody, guys. When I went to Greyfriars, I had no expectations whatsoever, even talking to spirits. I just wanted to go see the graveyard because it's so medieval looking. And I actually did pass by Mr. Mackenzie's tomb, not realising
Yes.
it was his tomb. And it was something drew me back, I think, when the people that were away, Scott and Sarah, Scott had pointed it out that was Mr. Mackenzie's tomb. So I turn around and I go up to the doors and I say, Mr. Mackenzie, my name is Andrina, my friends call me Drew. If you would like to be my friend, I don't want to know anything bad about you, I just want to know you on a human level. People come here to be scratched and to basically play with you. I'm here to be respectful. I want to know what you did in life. You didn't do everything bad. You didn't do the things bad in life to get the status you had. So could you basically open up to me on a human level? And I really didn't know about anything at all. It wasn't until a couple of months later that my big sister was going through the video and she actually sees Mr. McKenna. It's like a mist comes up out the grate.
That's right.
And it walks right past me. And then I start to feel sick and things and I have to go out. But I didn't even know I'd captured that until a couple of months down the line.
Was that the video that Lex Paranormal looked fit for you? Was that the one that he
No,
looked?
that was the one with the black shadow. There was a
Right,
black shadow that I caught in the background as well. Somebody had pointed out and I wanted Lex to have a look at it for me because I think it is a black shadow. Excuse me. Some people say it's not, so that's why I turned to the experts to see if they would have a look at it for me. It does look like a black shadow, but it's under dispute.
I mean, if anybody doesn't know in the chat, because there'll be Americans listening and Canadian people listening, can you tell us a little bit about Mr. Mackenzie and who he
Mr.
is?
Mackenzie was the Lord Advocate of Scotland. He was basically the king's lackey, if you like.
Yes.
He was made to be the one that did the king's dirty work to anybody that decided they wanted to go against the religion and became the Covenanters.
Yeah.
He was the one that was made by the king to round up all these people and imprison them. He also gave the order for their execution and things. People call him one of the worst people in Scottish history because he did kill a lot of our own. But the way I see it is if he didn't do the orders of the king, he would have been one of these people that would have died as well, and his family probably. So you can see where the fear factor could maybe creep in a little bit.
I mean, before I'll let Dakota go in a minute, as I can't help myself here, but see that Mr. Mackenzie, most of the people in the old part of Greyfriars, it was Mr. Mackenzie that put them there by executions.
Exactly. Yeah. Basically, he's buried amongst. Basically, his tomb is right in the middle of where he executioned 500,000 people. I don't know, a lot of people. Basically, it's a mass grave. And he's right in the middle of it.
Yeah. What I've known of Greyfriars Graveyard, it's actually that bad when it rains really heavy, right? Because there was plagues and stuff, and they just piled bodies in. When it rains really heavy, the bones will stick up through the dirt. And they'll actually, the council in Edinburgh will go around picking up the bones.
Yeah.
And then they'll dig a hole and put them in it.
Yeah.
And that happens all the time. I just would like to say people in the chat, Lizzie, Mike, Shell, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Got a
It's
few
an
Um,
amazing
in there.
place, Greyfriars.
Is
I mean, the tombs alone are so beautiful. They're so old and they're beautiful. And
Yeah.
a lot of people do say that Mr. Mackenzie is the black entity, Greyfriars. He is the poltergeist, the Covenanters prison. But Mr. Mackenzie told me in a spirit box session that he was not the black entity, the Covenanters prison. And I asked him what was the black entity, and he told me it was nothing of this world.
So it's maybe something that's been conjured then.
Either that or the destruction is conjured that, maybe one of these
Yeah.
natural entities that's formed because of the amount of murders that was there. Executions.
No, I just got to think about that black shadow. Circumstances are right to where a certain entity we all have had experiences with. That would be his playground. So
Yep. Who knows if he was still following me away back then and he was just hiding and I've caught him. Who knows? I mean, I would like to get a further analysis of that video just to see.
I mean, you talk about Mr. Mackenzie. That place was broken into, and body parts were stolen from that tomb. I mean, his skull was stolen.
Yeah.
But they think, yeah, oh yeah,
I
did
put
you
a
know
complaint
that?
into the Daily Record about that because the Daily Record actually showed a picture of Mr. Mackenzie's carcass. Carcass, that's one word we're saying it because that's for an animal, but you know what I mean? On the front page of the Daily Record, because somebody did break into his tomb and I did not phone them. I emailed the Daily Record and I put a complaint in, and I did get an email back apologising, saying that they wouldn't do anything like that again. If they were going to use footage, it would be just at the tomb, because I thought it was ridiculous.
Yeah, when people do that, I mean, there's people out there that should not ever break into a graveyard tomb. I mean, that's just, it doesn't mean how you do it.
That's actually 2 or 3 times his tomb's been broke into, because way back, somebody that was homeless broke into his tomb as well, just looking for somewhere to sleep, and he did actually fall through the floor. There's actually, I think it's 5 strangers buried in Mr. Mackenzie's tomb because he had nowhere to put them. So there is strangers in his tomb. So they did actually fall through the floor and land in people's coffins. So, and then there was other people have broke into his tomb as well. Yeah. Luckily, they've not stolen anything, but it's really bad. So they've had to padlock it and things.
It's actually quite interesting you say the Covenanters, because when obviously everybody knows that Drew, I'm a member of Drew's ghost hunting team. And the first time I met Drew and the first time she came to the village, she came to the St. Bride's chapel.
Right. One of my favourite places.
Right next to it, there was a jailhouse, which is actually called the Head Inn's Pub. Yes. It's not a pub anymore, but it was a prison, and it was a Covenanters prison. Yeah. Isn't that strange, isn't it? It's strange how everybody's linked.
The bars are still on the window. It's amazing.
That's
I wish one of the times we'll need to do a little vlog of Douglas just to show you guys how beautiful this town is that Chris stays in. I love it up in Douglas because it's really magical feeling. It takes you right away back. You can just actually stand there outside the church gates and picture everybody in the church square with their little stalls with selling bread, their little stalls with selling, and then going up to the castle road is right there. You can just picture it all in your mind. It's a beautiful little village.
Cool.
I was just going to say, for those of us on the other side of the pond, I've been through Christmas Village, and it is honestly gorgeous out that way.
Yeah.
I was like, sorry, I'm doing some sort of weird interference with my electronics right now, so I'm just a little sidetracked. My apologies.
They're actually letting us all on screen. I bet if Mike put it up, they wouldn't let them up.
It's actually quite weird. I don't know if you can notice it, Drew, but when Dakota talks, his voice is a wee bit different. But it's not just that. It's behind him as if black, as if there's a massive black mass.
No, I think it was just before we came on, before you popped in, Drew. I swore I saw what looked like a little kid shadow pop in and out of frame like that. He was playing peekaboo or something.
Maggie. Is that a wee girl? Yeah. Maybe my wee spirit girl, Maggie, who follows me around.
That's
Maybe.
We
It's
picked
quite
her
weird.
up at Glenbuck, Chris and I. Chris and I was up at Glenbuck doing an investigation,
Yes.
and he was telling me all about the schoolhouse and the different things that had happened with the explosion. I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a mine. A mine collapsed and killed lots of miners, and to this day they've never got the bodies back. And that was
No.
1940s, 1950s.
And through the cultist box, when Chris was telling me the story, you heard a little girl talking.
That's
And
right.
with anyone else, I've always heard her talk. Sherry and I discovered her name was Maggie through Sherry
Mhm.
talking to her. And she just chose to be me, to have my experiences, if you like, in life. She
Yeah.
does accompany me to the different locations and help the child spirits talk.
Can I ask you something, Drew? Do you think being into Wicca, the religion of Wicca, do you think that's helped you as a ghost hunter?
Yes, I honestly don't think I would have connected as much as if I hadn't went down the road to witchcraft first. Because when I tried to communicate, I wanted to communicate with the spirits and things as a leisurely thing. And
Yeah.
then my daughter's partner died, our fiance died, and then
Right,
that's
that's
when
right.
I decided, no, I'm definitely going to see if there is life after death. I
Yeah.
just dedicated myself to trying on the spirit box to talk, and then nothing was happening. So I had to research how can these people do this? There's got to be a way. And
Yeah.
through researching it, people on YouTube, Google, different websites I went on, the Moon School was a really good help.
Yeah.
It shows you how you can lower your vibration to a point where you can actually be on the same level as the spirits, where when you do open up, you can hear them. Raise your vibration when you need to maybe protect yourself a little more and
That's
be
right.
more like sturdy, and how to bubble yourself and different things. But definitely, I would never have connected as much if I didn't research witchcraft.
Can you tell us the story about Santa Maria?
Santa Marta.
Is it Santa after Santa Marta? I made a mistake.
Santa
I thought
Marta.
it was
She's
Santa
actually
Maria.
a Mexican
Yeah.
saint. She's never got her sainthood, but the Murtos was a
Yeah.
family in Mexico a long time ago who basically dedicated their lives to people in Mexico. Didn't ever have money, so they never had money to pay for their last rites or burials or anything like that. So the Murtos family actually dedicated their life to going around Mexico and paying for people's last rites, giving them their last rites and their burials and things. So I didn't even have a clue who the lady was. It wasn't until I had a mini breakdown where I was trying my hardest to connect and nothing was happening, and I was sitting in my toilet and I was just pleading with anything. I was saying, please, if anything is ever going to happen, please make it now. I need it now. And then I just looked up and I actually thought I was dead. I just stood looked in front of me, and I always thought it was in my shower. I've been telling people for years it was in my shower, but it wasn't. It was right in front of me. It was the way I turned around and I turned back. She was right there. Just a skeleton figure with a cloak on. And I actually thought I was dead. I thought it was a Grim Reaper. But the minute she smiled, I knew everything was okay. It was like the feeling of your grandmother hugging you, or just a family member. Like when you've maybe been a kid and you've lost your mum and you see your mum and you're related. That type of feeling. I just knew everything was okay.
Yeah.
And the fear just went instantly. And then I knew that I had the answers. Things just started keeping coming to me. I got up the next day. This was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I went to my bed and I just slept. I got up quite early and everything was okay. I knew how to cope. I got up and my daughter and my grandson was in the living room, and I just knew how to cope with things now. I could get them up, make breakfast and things, whereas a couple of days before I was struggling. I didn't know what to do. She was in pure grief and didn't have no notion to look after Zach and things, and I just had to step up to the plate. And I instantly knew, and I knew after I seen her, and I had to research who she was. And a lot of the images of the Grim Reaper were popping up, but it wasn't until I was flicking through another couple of books and I seen her Santa Marta, and I knew that's who it was. And from then on, I just knew, and I've worked with her ever since.
Dakota.
I was about to say, thank God you were at least on the toilet, because if a skeleton almost popped out of me.
Dakota honestly
my
thought
God.
she was the Grim Reaper and I had died. And then she just looked at me and she smiled, and it was the most beautiful, peaceful smile you could ever imagine.
Trying to visualize that now. That's definitely interesting. I've heard you tell the story before. It's just like, nevertheless,
Honestly.
you never know what's going to happen when you start to dance around with these things.
It's,
But
it's
it's
quite
funny
an,
because see when you do meditate and things and you do open yourself up to different experiences, even just working with crystals and things, the answers just come to you.
yes. I was going to ask you that. What kind of advice can you give to anybody in the chat or anybody that's listening to this in the podcast about like crystals and about like potions and about stuff that you use in your magic?
I would say to people, if I could advise them of anything, is to meditate. And if you don't think you can meditate, daydream, because daydreaming is just as good. If you
Yeah.
can take yourself to a place in your daydream where you are visualizing yourself somewhere else, where you are managing to exist, if you like, on a different realm, that's just as good as meditating. And it is daydreaming, but it's daydreaming to a place where you can manifest things. If you can try your hardest to either meditate or daydream and get yourself to a place where you can create your next reality, do it because it helps you so much. Even just with your mental health and things, it helps you. Because when things get tough, you can take yourself, even just sitting in your toilet to get away from things for 10 minutes, you
Yeah.
can sit there and you can take yourself to that place and you know instantly that things are going to be okay. It's
Yeah.
maybe just a hurdle. It's maybe just a bad day that somebody else is having that's affecting your day. So if you can always be the person to give the person that's having a bad day advice,
Yeah.
then you're winning in life. Even if you're not having a good day yourself, for some reason when you help somebody, if you're not having a good day, automatically your day becomes better because you've
That's
helped
right.
somebody. So I
Yeah.
would advise everybody to meditate and try and find their happy place because it helps so much.
It does, because I know you know your stuff, Drew. I've seen your videos that you do, and they're absolutely amazing. And you've got so much amazing stuff. You've also got your own shop, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I've got my
Where can
broomsticks
people
and
find that?
pentagrams.
Oh,
You can actually get my broomsticks and pentagrams on Google, guys. Just or on my YouTube channel, there is a link to it
yes.
there, and up in the top bar, I think. Also, it's on Facebook, where I do jars and pouches. I also do private spell work for people. I've actually got a healing altar that I do at all times that I've got a lot of my family members and things on. It's a constant altar. Just things like that. Anything you need, anything that you want advice of as well. If there's something you want, like a cauldron or something, and you don't know where to go, just let me know and I'll give you the cut price where I get my stuff from and things.
There you go,
Just
guys.
to help these guys, honestly.
Check out the link. Check out the link below. But just going to say, there's Paranormal World Investigators, Sherry. I hope you're doing okay, Sherry.
Hope
I
you're
hope
good,
you're doing
sis.
okay. She says she's watching it. She's in her bed in hospital. So please stay safe, and we're all here for you, Sherry. If you need us, we're about if you want to talk, you know. But Drew, tell me, what's the best EVP you've ever caught?
I haven't actually ever caught anything on the voice recorder.
Yeah.
No, I've never been lucky enough to catch any voices yet.
But you've caught them on videos and stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely caught.
Yeah.
Do you know, Christopher gave me a camera when we first started Ghost Hunting. I only had my phone. And Chris gave me this camera to work with. And for some reason, the camera that Chris gave us, you could actually hear the spirits come through this camera. Do you remember that? We took it up
That's
to
right.
Douglas Cemetery and we didn't even need a spirit box. All you could hear the spirits come through the camera once you actually downloaded the footage. But I've never been lucky enough to ever find another camera like it the same. But I've had loads of different EVPs. The best one, I think, was the one where Mr. Mackenzie told me that he wasn't the Black Entity, Greyfriars. I've still got that. I can actually post that one day. I just need to get through a couple of my lives to find it.
We need to see that, but I think Dakota's got a question for you here because it looks real intense, kind of mystical way. I think it just looks like that all the time, to be honest with you, but Dakota.
Well, obviously, with all the weird stuff that's been going on lately, you know how that messes with us.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a remark, but I just lost it. Oh, God. Damn it, Chris.
What was that? Was it for Mike the Naked Bigfoot about death?
Oh, no. No, I was, what happened, I was going to say that, now that I've actually had time to get to know Drew a little bit better, she does have a lot of very good points, and honestly,
Yeah.
her previous endeavors, she was really left out of a lot of potential. So hopefully we
Yes.
can start shifting that to where not just her, but everybody does. But towards the end of the interview, like I said, we do have a little bit of a surprise for Drew and everybody else as well.
Ooh. There you go. I wonder what that could be, Dakota. What could we possibly have for Drew? What could we possibly? Yeah, I'm in the total. I'm in the total doubt. By the way, Drew, I don't have a clue what these go for you. I'm trying to use my brain melding powers, but it's not working. So, Drew, where can you see your channel going in the future? What do you want to do in the future?
Well, I was thinking about this once Dakota told me he was going to interview me. I thought, what am I going to say about the future that I want to do? And you know something? It just came to me the day. I want to see how I've got a lot of interviews coming with these big teams. I've got Haunted Finders coming. I've
That's
got
right.
Multi Paranormal as well this week, guys. And I obviously interviewed the beautiful Amy Louise. Well, I want to go to England and see some of the experiences that these girls and boys have been through. I want to get them to take me to these places, and like Sherwood Forest and different things. And I want to experience their places. But seeing as I'm on the Bolden Bonkers network and things, I could also go live at these places for you guys. So I think my team and things will be investigating, doing that. But I want to find a way letting everybody experience the same things as we experience. So I think if we could do that through like live streaming and things, it would be amazing. Just me standing there and watching it all happen in live streaming.
Strange things in the night.
Yeah,
There you go.
I definitely
We'll
want
see
to
what we
go
can
to
do.
England and start experiencing some of the stuff in England because the forests and things down there are crazily haunted.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I've
there's Mike.
never ever been in the woods where it's felt bad, and that surprises me.
Did you that night that you came to do the ghost hunting in Douglas Castle? Did you feel it felt a wee bit weird because there was a few times that you did the ghost, and I always felt there was kind of like an evilness there at night.
Always feel watched, but I think that's because we're Scottish. Do you remember the first time I spoke to the spirits up there and I said, I'm sorry about the way things were back then. I do believe if it was Scotland and England arguing today, everybody would sit around a table and talk about it. And I feel as if it changed after I said that, where I kind of apologised for the Scottish men slaughtering all the people in the church. I apologised as a Scottish person for that happening to the women of that castle because I felt as a mother to mother or a wife to wife, that couldn't have been nice knowing that your full family and your soldiers and everything were all just slaughtered up at the local church. So I felt as a Scottish person I would apologise for that. And I did feel as if it changed up there after that.
Yeah. I think your channel's going to grow really quickly, Drew, because I'm looking forward to the summertime getting back out again, getting back out there with you. I mean, Crawford Castle, that was one of your investigations, which you caught the figure, didn't you? You caught the figure. Guys, you need to check out Drew's paranormal vlog at Crawford Castle, and you see the shadow.
Weird, though, because the stairs, there's nothing there, but you can tell that years ago that the stairs had been there, and it's as if the spirit goes dum dum dum, as if it's going down the stairs, isn't it?
Yeah, what it's like is it's like you've got the castle at the top, and then you've got this cellar, and you can see it's all made with the stone. It's a stone cellar, and if you climb into the cellar, it's been backfilled, but you can see a line of steps going away down, but it's obviously dirt up to the steps. So obviously they've backfilled it, and the shadow looks like it's walking down the stairs all the way down.
It's crazy, but it's an amazing
Yeah.
place up there. And Chris and I's got an advantage because where we are in Scotland, we're probably the only paranormal investigators around here. So all
yeah.
these wee old castles and things that nobody goes to,
Mhm.
old cemeteries and things, they're endless in our area, aren't they, Chris?
Well, you've also got New Lanark Mills, one of the most
Mhm.
haunted places in Scotland. You've got the Woolen Mills. For anybody that's listening, it's on the Clyde. It's called the Woolen Mill. Dakota, do you know of the Woolen Mill in New Lanark?
The
I mean,
Aaron
Were you here
Cloud
when you were
experience.
visiting? That place is haunted. The hotel itself is very, very haunted.
Yep.
I know people that work in there, and they're seeing people walk right through walls, and it's actually. I heard the voice there today.
It's all right. It's Wally trying to shout on the dog. It's all
I
right,
was going
Wally.
to say that sounded a little too solid to be an EVP there, Chris.
I was like,
It's my dog.
I've hit it myself.
there's somebody in the chat, Samuel. How
Oh,
are you,
Sam.
Samuel? He would like to go with you, Drew, to the.
Oh, it's
haunted
amazing.
place.
Honestly,
Oh.
there's so many beautiful places around where we stay, and a lot of people don't realise the beauty. There's loads.
So,
I must
Dakota-
admit, Douglas Castle is my favourite. I don't know if it's
Oh, yeah.
because it's one of the first places we ever really went, but I really do. There's a vibe up in Douglas that's just no in anywhere else. And I think it's because of because there was as many English there. Maybe I don't know. It's just a crazy
the his-
vibe.
my favourite place in the village is the chapel, the St. Brid's
Right.
Chapel.
Mhm.
It was built in the 11th century. I mean, that is
Yeah.
crazy old. I mean, there's
Mhm.
gravestones in there that's older than the United States.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I was going to say there's not a lot of people here over stateside that realize when they're interested in ghost hunt stuff that the average kind of case you may come across when you're in Scotland, UK, Ireland, over there, most of the average hauntings are older than the U.S. itself. That's the one thing that's always
Yeah.
blown my mind. So there's so much more history there, and just walking through the streets, you can feel it.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
one thing that blew my mind when I was over in Scotland.
Yeah.
I mean, that time I tell you, Drew, do you want to tell everybody about the time we went ghost hunting down the Clyde side? Remember, you were using the ghost box.
I mean,
Remember
that was
what happened?
that was where the necrophonic told me. I asked the necrophonic. That was where we heard the horses as well. Did we not hear horses coming up? There was like a. Oh no, that was when I was with the other team.
It was the time.
Loads of things happened.
It was the time. Remember when I wandered away because I was talking to my US friend and he was in the Marine Corps.
That's right.
And
that's
what
right.
happened? That
We were sitting there, and what was it? It kept coming through the spirit box. A marine or
Yes.
something. It kept saying.
Marine. Yeah, and his
And you're like,
friend
"What?"
had tragically died
Mhm.
just before that, and he was in the Marine Corps.
Yep, it was all happened within a matter of a couple of minutes, didn't it?
Yeah.
You had got the text, it came
That's
through the
right.
spirit box, it just justified everything that was
Yeah.
being said. I've had a few things at New Lanark. We heard the horses coming down, like, and we're like, where's that noise? And we looked round the corner and there was no horses. So we heard that. What else have we heard at New Lanark? A few things. We've seen our Kerry captured the spirit of the lady and
That's
the wee
right.
girl standing up, but
That's
it's as
right.
if it looked as if it was like a little picnic or something they're dressed for. It was as if they were dressed in their Sunday best. And she got a picture of the lady standing with the wee girl. Oh, a few things at New Lanark. It's crazy.
So-
haunted.
So, what new locations will you be going soon, and not going down into England, staying in Scotland? What new locations
I'm
to Scotland?
Definitely want to go to the Wallace Monument and up to Stirling
Yeah.
Castle. That's my next
Oh.
place I've not been yet. Is definitely Stirling Castle and the Wallace Monument.
There's actually a place near there called Witches. I think it's Witches Craig. It's actually quite famous for
Right.
witches that were. I think actually that were burnt there. To be honest with you,
Look that up then. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I'll be looking that
Yeah.
up as well.
So
Just
Dakota
more
looks.
castles. More
Dakota
castles.
looks okay. Dakota looks awfully cryptid tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you think? He looks quite as if he's in a mission or something. You know. You got a question for Drew there? Go on.
Well, I was gonna, seeing that we are getting close to the end of the show, to
Yeah.
kind of segue into some of the side segments. But working with Drew, initially she was a bit skeptical when it came to the UFOs, but
Mhm.
when it comes to your spirituality, your witchcraft, and with the UFO phenomenon, especially with what we've been dealing with lately, because I'll be honest, the whole little cheating question, you had a little bit of involvement in that one. I was trying out that Spirit Talker app I've seen you use a few times, and that's where the message, "Who is she?" came through. I was talking with one of the girls I dated on and off, so I
Right.
thought that was a little eerie. But anyway, so given your perspective on it, what do you think is going on with the UFO phenomenon as it is today?
See, I've never ever really paid too much attention what goes on up in the skies because I've always been that busy into ghost hunting and things. So I've never really paid it much mind. But I noticed that through different things we're working with Chris and Dakota and things about just how much footage and things really is out there. I think in the last week or two has really opened my mind. I've had a little bit of experiences with different things I've seen and I've just dismissed it. So has my partner where we've seen things and it's been too quickly sped off. Or when we used to park up at a spot where there was fishing, we used to park there a lot and we would see things in the sky, but we never ever discussed it. We never ever told anybody. We just accepted it. So I think through talking to you guys and also the footage and that I seen the other day that I shared with you, Dakota, and things, I think I actually shared it on my Facebook as well. I didn't realise just how much footage really is out there about the aliens and things. So it's definitely something that we need to be aware of because the footage and things I seen the other day was phenomenal. Nothing, you can't make that up.
It was quite interesting the story you told me about your husband seeing the UFO, and then I caught that UFO exactly over where you seen that.
Yep, and also people in our village as well. I mean, you were speaking in your live a couple of weeks ago, Chris, saying that it's right above my village where you have seen a lot of these things. And it's funny you say that because I think a couple of months ago I shared it with you, a couple of posts that was up on a Facebook group, a Les Mexico Facebook group, and it was a lady who was out walking her dog, and she's seen the exact same as Willie had seen with the craft up in there and going like super fast and different things. So I mean that's 2 or 3 people that's seen that in our area then. So it's not just one event.
So Dakota, what interesting things have you got to show Drew?
Well, just one more question, kind of in the spiritual UFO side of things.
Chris wants to see quickly, doesn't he?
I don't know what that is.
There with me.
Yes, you do. I told you what it is.
You came on mic, I'm kind of forgetful. I'm getting old now.
The worst of my sisters, and they're all blonde. Anyway, so I do know that this was something that in that area that did catch your attention not too long ago. What are your thoughts on Mount Shasta?
That really intrigues me, that place. I mean, I always thought if anywhere in America was going to be active, it would be obviously Area 51 or something. But Mount Shasta, it's just got... And do you know something? That the crystal guy that I follow as well, he's started mentioning Mount Shasta a lot.
Yes.
He's actually dedicated a crystal to Mount Shasta where it helps him to connect. So even he's opening up about sitting meditating with a crystal. I don't even know what crystal it is because he's nicknamed it Mount Shasta, but it actually helps him to communicate with like on a UFO type, alien type, out of the world experience that's no spiritual. So it shows you that even the healers of the world have always did this, but it's only now that people are feeling they can share it. So Mount Shasta really intrigues me. I'm definitely, once I finish my training and things for my job I'm about to start, I'm definitely going to do my research on Mount Shasta. So
Mount
me
Shasta
myself knows.
is amazing. The UFO sightings, and Dakota wants to go there, didn't you, Dakota?
Oh, I don't blame him.
Well, Here's the one thing I do know that might catch Drew's attention. There is a woman who operates in the Mount Shasta area who does like little meditation tours
Mm-hmm.
that walk you through, allegedly to walk through a vortex to go into the city of light that's allegedly under the mountain.
Right,
That's right.
There's also reports of there being a physical door you can walk through.
right.
That's one thing I want to look into myself.
Definitely.
It'd be interesting if you did a
Definitely
live.
intriguing.
It'd be interesting if you did a live. Me and Drew could be the hosts for that night, and Dakota could do a live at the. You could do it at the location, obviously, you know. And if you get beamed up, well, we would all wave at you. Yeah.
No, it's definitely a magical place. When I seen that footage, it's not just the footage that I seen the other day. There's been things popped up through the different researches and things I've done through the years for Bolden Bonkers, the other company, even just normal research into ghosts and things that I've done even when I was starting out in this path. And for some reason Mount Shasta has come up a lot. And it's just now that I'm starting to recognise these things as a being a part of the one big journey, if you like. And I'm definitely got to research it because it's got to be something prominent for it to keep coming up time after time after time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was actually thinking of taking you, Drew, to some UFO spots around Scotland
For sure.
and see what we can actually pick up on. You know.
Definitely, I'd do that, not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So Dakota.
I was just going to say, with Mount Shasta, there's spiritual reports. I know Jeff Goldblum did a special involving Bigfoot in the area as well. There's esoteric conventions there all the time. There used to be an esoteric shop there as well, dedicated to the kind of lore of the place, but unfortunately that shut down due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like you said, there is a lot of attention, and it's only further back up. Is there something actually there, or is it like, you know, everybody expects Area 51, and yet you can drive past that area, chances are you'll see some stuff, but did it move to other places? You never know. And for the documentary that we are actually trying to put together, that's actually something I want to do for it, maybe like towards the end, to see if we can catch something. Allegedly, CE5, there's like somehow a secret knock that if we figure it out, they'll let us in.
Yeah.
I actually think you're onto something there, Dakota. I think you're on if you play the right tone, the door will unlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the sigil that Dakota made, I don't know if a lot of people are aware of the situation where I've seen Hatman, and I'm just saying his name because I'm not letting him scare me. Where he does actually sit in my local park. I'm actually looking right now at the swing where he sits, but he's not there just now. Where a couple of months ago, I walked to my shop and I looked over to the swings and I seen a shadow sitting on the swing. Didn't pay any mind. I just walked to the shop and then it darted in front of me. And I was like, all right. And then it darted back in front of me again and I seen it get into the park and sit down. And it was then I clicked, it was Hatman. So for the last wee while, I've been seeing him, feeling him around and everything. And I think that there's something, I don't even know where I was going with this, by the way. But I think there is something that follows us all around just before the podcast end that does actually got an interest in all of us together. The Hatman's definitely prominent in my area as well.
Yeah. It makes it. Yeah. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Yeah. There's a new theory that's coming together. Our friend AJ, who's the demonologist, you saw him as the professor, for those of you who've been watching us for a while. He and I are working on a side project that focuses on the Hat Man and some of the stuff that's been going on lately, and it kind of ties together several theories about him. And if it's true, then we can talk about it a little more when we're off the air. It's kind of an intimidating situation. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. But when I feel his presence gets too much, the sigil that you made up, Dakota, helps, and the tones. because I didn't realise he was affecting me one night yous were live, and it wasn't until somebody else was getting affected that I clicked, wait a wee minute, and I had started to get a sore head, and I started to get that, it's like he tries to take your breath. It's like you get a wee bit of a sore head and he like tries to take your breath off you. That's all the way I can explain the experience with him. And somebody else had got you to put it up on the screen, or you were playing the tunes, and instantly I felt better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely worked, especially the sigil, because it was the sigil I was looking at.
I think Dakota's actually got the sigil on here. If you not got it on here, you can
Yes,
show
I have
everybody.
it.
I think it's
Yes,
still on
I
here.
I think
do.
we should make t-shirts up with the sigil on them, guys, to be honest.
That's
Yeah,
actually
it's
part
there.
of the surprise that I was hinting at earlier. And you just said that.
Sorry, I
Anyway,
just wanted to get the sigil out there because the
Yeah.
sigil is definitely powerful, and I think
Yeah.
it would help with a lot of entities, not just him, you know.
oh, yeah.
Dakota's got a lot of interesting stuff, and especially with the documentary. I think that's going to
That's
gonna be
You have a
amazing.
bit of an announcement involving the documentary.
We do. Yeah, I'm actually wearing tonight a t-shirt. We Are Light t-shirt.
Just going to mention that. So you see this shirt that Chris has on. Do I still have the
Yep.
poster in here? No, I don't.
I'm doing that as if I
There
can
you
see.
light. There you go. You're light.
See?
Oh, there you go.
Basically, obviously, this is going to be a very ambitious project that
Yes.
it's going to take on a lot. So part of it, what we're hoping to do, I can go ahead and post the link in the chat right now. We have actually launched a Kickstarter campaign to try to help fund the documentary. With this, you'll be able to get We Are Light shirts, you'll be able to get DVD copies, exclusive perks, kind of backstage access to everything that goes on with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want to give you guys a little something in return. Some of our biggest guests that have been on this show have agreed to at least
Yes.
talk with us to be a part of it. That is a huge thanks to them. Elena Denon was one of them. Craig Campobasso. I
Mm-hmm.
think Cassius would still be interested when we remind him, because it's been kind of flighty lately. But then again, he was talking about messing around with shrooms on his TikTok the other day. So
Uh-oh.
Oh, dear. Oh.
but we do have that. But we also do have a little something else that I was going to try to bring up on the screen here. Was there just another voice sounding like mine coming through?
It's the echo.
All right. I have to ask, because some of our ET friends, at least the one that's possibly my son, sounds a lot like me when he comes through. So we'll go ahead and show this real quick. Bald and Bonkers now has its own merch store.
Yes.
Lots
Yes.
of goodies in here. See some of that. Line here.
Well,
We got
there you go.
something for the babies. We got trucker hats, shorts, bikinis.
I think the bikinis are the best one. Honestly, I think you should go back to the
Look at the
bikinis.
boots.
Got some
Honestly.
boots.
I think even Mike, the naked Bigfoot, will agree with me. The bikinis are the best ones.
Oh, I've got to get a pair of Bone Walker's boots.
And because Drew is our special guest tonight, it
That's
was
right,
only
Drew.
fitting
Yes.
that we give her own little stuff on here as well.
Wow.
There
Thank
you go,
you.
Drew.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Drew's Paranormal Vlog shower curtain. I know it's like 62 US bucks, but flip flops, you know, little stuffed animals, face
Oh,
masks, because, you know, I know everybody hates them, but some of the spots we
wow.
go into for ghost hunts.
Brilliant.
Little color changing mugs, phone cases.
That's actually quite nice. The phone case. I like
Wow. That's lovely.
Yeah, we got all sorts of extra stuff that's going to be on there. There's custom merch. There'll be
Yeah.
from all Bald and Bonkers members as well as shows. There's
Mm-hmm.
going to be
Wow.
looking into. This is also going to be a spot where they can get DVDs from us for the documentary. I'm going to look into selling books. You've heard me joke about this on the shows before. I was not messing around when I said it. We
I
have our
think
own
Mike needs to buy
coffee
some.
There you
that's
go.
laced with mushrooms.
Right, Mike. Mike, the naked Bigfoot, if you're still in chat,
I wasn't
your
kidding when I
own
said that.
coffee. I think Mike's getting his credit card out as we speak. He's probably ordering half a kilo.
He's getting at the mother load.
And because I'll be honest, I'm a bigger guy, so a lot of the suppliers I went through, I tried to make sure that a lot of the sizes can actually go up to 5X. The boots, I think they can only go up to like a US size 13, if I remember correctly.
That's still quite big, yeah.
Definitely
Not big
is.
enough. There's I forgot to add it, but there's also going to be socks. There's also Bald and Bonkers underwear.
There you go. If
There you go.
you get Dakota's face on your underwear.
Well,
Truly
we're not
means-
going that far. But yeah. Yes, the rumors are true. I have my own underwear line.
Yes,
There you
he
go.
has his own underwear.
Well, I'm
Ah,
definitely for a t-shirt with a sigil.
that the dressing gown there would suit Mike in the chat. I think you should get yourself a dressing gown, Mike.
God,
There you go.
that is a horrifying image there, Christopher.
What's that?
Of Mike
Mike
in a
and
dress. He
actually,
probably would say, yeah, he would probably do it, no doubt.
A tea smuggler.
wait, no, he actually says he prefers a thong. Where is it?
Yeah, I was seeing that.
You know, there he's there.
Oh, Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we need to get Mike to be our model for Bald and Bonkers. What do you think?
You,
Get him.
you're worried about Drew, your brother coming on and getting us banned? You suggest that?
Hi, but Mike, I'd have Mike. I think you should buy some the special is it shrooms in coffee or
Shrooms?
something? Mushrooms. What is it? Is it shrooms or whatever they are? Magic
Yes, it's
mushrooms in
called-
your coffee. I think that would make up
Lime
Mike's street, you know.
We call it Eden's Morning. I believe
Mhm.
I should have some mushrooms. Sorry, I'm looking around my stand here, but let's see, there's the lion's mane and what else is there?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
So, ladies
there's
and
going to be a
gentlemen,
lot
if you
more
want to
coming to
get
that.
high, if you want to get high, please try Bald and Bonkers coffee. I've not tried it yet. I can't buy it because I'm in the UK, bugger. But I'm
You
sure
might be able
everyone
to
else.
buy it, but it'll just take forever.
No
There's
smuggler.
Sam.
Oh, water, please.
There's
I
Sam
mean,
in the
some
chat.
of the underwear. Oh my god!
Ah, God. But I honestly do not understand people that subscribe to this. You know?
You know that one time we let on Sam for Bald and Bonkers cares. That
Well,
we got to put like a next
honest-
label rating on that.
I honestly think that comment from Mike's awesome. You know?
Edward wax my bikini and just for you.
honestly,
Oh, yeah.
honestly, guys, you know, I think it's been a really
Oh, my
good night
cheeks are
tonight.
clear.
It's been a really good night tonight. So, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to try out some magic coffee, as I'm going to call it, you know, and dance wildly round about your garden, please do follow those links. If you're wanting a bikini
Beltane's coming
or
up.
some Dakota underwear, please answer these links.
You got Chris.
Yeah.
There's a certain photo I will put on the underwear. You keep going.
I think you should put that one. I think you should put that. I think you should put that
Trying
one.
for
Underwear.
reverse psychology. What the heck is going on here?
I think you should put that picture on underwear.
I'll make sure it's
Yeah.
right on the front for you.
Oh yeah, on it. You better not let Mike see it in the chat. He'll be buying them all up,
Oh god.
guys, ladies and gentlemen. So Dakota, who is live tomorrow night? Who have we got before we go?
Yeah. We do have a very special guest coming on who runs the Soto Voce Vault. It's a compilation of forbidden knowledge, esoteric secrets, all sorts of goodies on there. He even has instructions on how one can build around themselves a 12-dimensional protection bubble.
We'll be watching.
she's very interested in us. I think she caught on to us after I told her that we were friends with Elena Denon. I kind of
Yeah.
used that to try to get her attention. And she's going to be coming on with us tomorrow. So that'll
Yes.
definitely be an interesting interview. Bring out your headsets because just in case something decides to come through,
Oh yeah.
because in fact, I was just going to say, Elena was messaging me because I followed up with her to thank her for coming on the show. She was saying that just trying to send a simple email, no attachments, nothing fancy, her computer started glitching out when she was trying to talk to us.
See that
Something's
they
up.
obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
They obviously don't want us talking to Elena. I mean, and ladies and gentlemen, Elena will be in the documentary, and I think we'll all have to have before we start filming it. We'll all have to have a cup of that special coffee. You know.
True.
Oh, shoot. I feel like there was a couple shout outs we do have for some of our listeners.
Yes, we do.
We ended off on some good news.
By the
Our
way.
dear friend AJ, he is actually going to be getting married here very soon.
Congratulations.
Congrats,
Congratulations.
AJ. You and I've been collaborating on some stuff. I hope our secret projects don't mess anything up. Knock on wood, because I already know she's
We're doing a bit.
a little antsy as
Paddy's
is.
was.
Whoa.
I have got Paddy's was. I've got noise cancellation foam all on here, so people don't hear me.
True.
And I do want to give a quick little shout out to my Uncle Jason, who I just found out is expecting his first baby.
Oh,
Wow. I didn't know men could have children.
It's the 2020s, you never know.
Oh,
there is a
God.
man on YouTube that had a baby, but technically he's a woman because he got a sex change, but he's
But he didn't go all the way.
Oh, so there you go. You know.
Okay.
Anything else to go?
Oh, I have Moxley Paranormal Tuesday night.
That's
Right.
right.
Yes.
Be sure to check out Drew's channel on that. It'll also be broadcast through Bald and Bonkers as well.
Yeah.
Lots of exciting projects coming up, ladies and gentlemen. You will not want to miss out because, quite frankly, we're all surprised that we're still going this strong and have everything we have coming to us.
Yes.
'Cause
Especially Dakota's underwear that he's got in the shop.
that too was just a bad segue, Chris.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm
They
just
have-
telling them. I'm
that's
just telling
like,
everybody to buy your
underwear.
underwear.
My God.
You might have some fans out there want your autograph, and instead now they're going to the website and buying your underwear.
Oh dear.
Well, here's a little secret about Bald and Bonkers when we got our start. Chris and I, we essentially just kind of mashed together our resources in order to help grow it as fast as we did. So with the merch line, a lot of the stuff that's in there that was under my stuff, that stuff I've had for years. Let's just say that some of the hookups I've been worried about upsetting my ET wife have involved surprises where my own logo is coming off of the women I hooked up with. That is a weird way to echo.
I know. I'm telling you, that's
True
it. She's
story,
listening to this. She's listening to this conversation, and as I say, it's like somebody said in the chat the other night. You'll wake up with a slap in the pod.
Yeah, I know. Elena was saying I go to wake up in the pod, and all of a sudden she's standing there with a knife.
Yeah.
You might
So-
not wake up.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. I think tomorrow night's going to be awesome on the UFO show, you know. And honestly, we'll need to play the trailer again for the documentary too tomorrow night. But I would just like to thank somebody else. Actually, I would like to thank all the new subscribers because we gained from Elena did obviously, you know, from Elena's side, 174 subscribers.
Wow.
I'm just going to say it. All of the biggest booms we've had on this channel, we owe Elena like a gift basket or something, I swear.
Yeah. Yeah. We could send her some of your underwear.
Golden Bonkers t-shirt.
We'll send her Scotty underwear.
There you go.
Oh,
that's
God.
that's what we'll do. Honestly, guys,
I swear,
it's Saturday night. You're
I
allowed
don't
to
know
do
why I
this.
keep trying.
I don't know. We've went mad, but honestly, guys, our subscribers going, we're over 1,000 now, and we get nearly 3,200 views on last Saturday's video,
Oh yeah, that
and we're very close to monetization too, which is
yeah. So
Yeah.
a lot of good things coming. Who knows where we're going to be at in the next just few months? Screw the whole 5 year timeline that Chris is
I mean,
asking.
yeah,
So a few months.
yeah. I mean, some of the guests that we've got lined up. I mean, wow, you know, but we can't tell him
Chris
anything.
tells me
you know.
there's one in particular that we almost canceled Brian and Lex on next week.
I would never do a thing like that.
What Chris tells me, Drew's going to be awfully excited for.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah. When you find out, Drew, you're going to be shocked.
Oh, I bet you.
You know
Oh, and
Vic-
Chris, by the way,
what?
some more people from that group have started reaching out.
Right, we talked about that after the show. You know, but honestly, guys, could you please go and subscribe to Drew's paranormal vlog, because Drew is near 1,000 subscribers, and if you could get her to 1,000 subscribers, she could monetize, and it would help her channel grow. It would help her ghost hunt even better. You know.
Mhm.
You know.
Thank you.
So, everybody, I hope you all have a lovely Saturday night, and we'll see you all tomorrow and Sunday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
One.